Everyone's been doing double taps. We saw Moist earlier, Joyo hitting double taps all over the place. Seems to be what's working for a lot of these teams. Furia starting out strong in game number 1. Space trying to push right back, get within 1, but it's taken away.
Yeah, and what an exciting player to watch as well. He seems to have always burst onto the scene in the last couple of majors that they've managed to be here in. Passing across. Not even involved in that play.
I absolutely love that decision. The time seemed to slow down right here, thinking, what is Kyle going to do? Yan was there in the way as well, but Card made it the perfect choice.
And it meant that Typical had to slow down at that near post, so his momentum completely eliminated, isn't then able to defend that bottom corner shot.
Still plenty of time for FaZe to get started. Their engines have stalled out in the first 2 minutes of the game. Typical gets immediately taken away, and then Yan on top of it, not giving FaZe any chance to try to catch, dribble, or do anything with that ball, and they just keep on shooting. Here's another one, crash in the box. Up high, Kyle in front. Does he have another one? Drops it down, but no one's there.
FaZe Clan, who at some point during the last split, they had that reputation of a team that once they got into the latter stage of the tournaments, they just couldn't see it away, get over that hump, get the victory that they so craved. When you're at the major, it's about more than getting victories. It's about making it into the top 8, making sure that they can play in front of this crowd.
And it's not just about the team that you're playing for and your 2 teammates either side of you. It comes down to the regions. For Furia, when they kicked off that interview, we're playing for a country. We're playing for a continent right now. And that is a lot of pressure on their shoulders. Teams back at home are going to be hoping that they're able to pull it through and secure a couple of spots at World.
And in their post-game interview after they beat Gladiators, they were saying that they were thinking about strategy too much. They weren't having enough fun, and that was the problem. But here come FaZe Clan, and finally AJ cracks it through for FaZe.
That looked like no fun at all as First Killer tries to turn it on a little bit more typical, faking out Card, and Kaio passes it dead center off that net, middle of the target.
Usually their attack is so potent, but until that moment, FaZe were looking just a little bit predictable when they were attacking Fury. But that fake, as you mentioned, Stuffy, completely changed the pace of the approach, and Fury are defeated.
Could be the start. Something good here for FaZe. Gotta get control of this ball. Yan looking, well, for my mark, World's better than he did on day 1. Not missing those touches, but you still gotta look out for FaZe Clan. Another goal for Typical!
And an amazing assist. First Killer coming back down the pitch, receiving from Typical, tapping it into that top corner. You have to defend it, Card. There is no issue with his save, but that positioning from Typical is deadly.
Talk about unpredictability. First Killer cannot have that much space in your half and the ability to put the ball where he wants, because he'll force an angle that nobody else can generate, and suddenly FaZe Clan may be a slight favourite here despite still losing.
It only took a minute to get within 1 after initially being down 3 goals. Kyle, slight miss. The Card gets dunked just like that. First Killer ties up the game.
It's completely turned around here for FaZe Clan, and this is just making the most of an enemy's mistake. Card didn't see First Killer there in his blind spot, and we're on as even.
Erupting with the FaZe Clan goal explosion as well. We've only just seen them come into the game, seeing them debut at this major as well. It's wonderful to see all these players having so much pride in the organizations that they choose to represent.
Momentum is flipped just within a game itself, and FaZe almost got another shot on. This one to the corner, AJ working around that Furia defense. Still stinting on the counterattack.
One of the biggest question marks we had over FaZe Clan, even when they went back to the full major, as Yan goes up and almost gets the double tap. AJ with the save as the game finishes, was can they step up in these moments? They're proving now they can.
An immediate response as well from First Killer, carrying it down the pitch, wanting to abate any of the pressure that he's able to. Didn't end up becoming a goal, but just being able to air dribble out of defense means that his teammates had time to work their way back a little bit. And I'm just still blown away that that was even a save. I thought Yan had a goal there.
Oh, FaZe. Not the best touch AJ would hope for, getting it down, but he got to the 50. Furia having some trouble getting set up on the orange half. That first minute was solely theirs, but since then, FaZe have slowly inched it back over towards the blue. But a little bit of push here from Furia as they continue to battle in the corner.
45 seconds left, and Furia have managed to step up a little bit after losing those 3 quick-fire goals. FaZe Clan, though, they turn it on so quick. AJ, look at him! Traversing the walls, beautiful, and the demo, but the pass is just too much.
Knocking a man out of the goal line as well. Kaio removed, Yanks removed, and yet still even. First Killer again removing Kaio. The double demo, the pass in the middle, Typical is up, and the attack from FaZe Clan continues to be relentless. Final 20 seconds.
Pushed back over to the corner. FaZe waiting for this touch from Card. He puts it up high. It's read easily. as Typical comes straight back down. And FaZe, all three of them converge, but Yan comes up with a touch at the end of regulation. Yan trying to get it away. Another touch taken away this time by Card. Cut off by AJ. First killer downfield, but AJ takes it himself. Dunk in front, and we go to overtime.
An unlikely overtime based on how this one started. Fury looked like they caught FaZe Clan cold, but not to be in this game.
Yeah, the mentality from FaZe to be able to work back and actually get those goals
It's
and
open.
get three of them.
It's
It's
open.
a chance. It's Typical. It's a top right slot. And FaZe Clan, they steal game one.
A completely open net. Yan jumps and tries to get to that ball, but he lost it so badly. First killer beat him easily to the ball. FaZe Clan score 4 unanswered to beat Fury in game one.
And speaking of unanswered, I mean, we have had 18 games in a row for one team. We haven't had a game, we haven't had a series where both teams have got a game in the last 6, I believe. So if this is the best of one, FaZe win. Hey, congratulations.
It's the best of five, and as far as I'm concerned, that's the FaZe win. It's going to be 3-0.
And we might as well chop it up right now. You know, we'll move on to the next stage of the
We're
tournament.
going to be going to a break. I'm kidding. Don't go
No,
away.
we're not doing
Too
that. We're not doing
fast,
that.
Stumpy.
Yeah,
Still more.
We're going to bring it down a little bit. We are running out of rooms, though, so we'll see if Fury can step it back up. But it was such a strong start. And we
Amazing.
saw that creativity on offense. Everything was working correctly, but then they just started using those 50s in midfield. That touch from first killer
Brilliant.
forced a bad touch out of Card, and the rest was history after that in game one.
But it was also letting it down on the backside of things, where Furia, that final shot right off kickoff, they all left. They just went anywhere else that they weren't needed. And seeing first killer go into the corner, and then you see Typical approach it, you're like, oh, there's no one to defend.
I feel like FaZe took a leaf out of G2 attacks as well. Just completely making Fury wonder what on earth they're going to do every time they get the ball. Once they did that, Fury just really had no answer.
Yeah, Fury, now they have to find a way to battle back. What no other team has been able to do today, which is take it to at least a game number 4. And I don't think that they look that bad right now. I mean, yeah, conceding 4 goals in a row, that doesn't look too good. But even in that, you know, I'm still thinking back to how they looked against K-Corp. And it wasn't good. They weren't even hitting their touches at all. At least they're getting to the ball and making that improvement. Now they just have to take the next step and try to tie this game up against Fury, or against FaZe.
All they need to tell themselves is that all that happened is that game went to an overtime and they lost it. It could go either way once you get to that point. And they did some good defending at the start of this second game as well. So standing strong for now as first killer puts it into the center. A Typical that shoots, but Card gets the save.
What I was so impressed with in that first game is we saw utter selflessness from FaZe.
Oh!
An absolute bouncing roller manages to work its way over the defensive line. It was AJ going to the backboard, and you see Card thinking, okay, it's going to be a power shot, far corner. He just bounces, and sometimes that simple shot is best.
He could have got that if he just double jumped as well. The backflip completely took him out of there, but it was a smart finish there from FaZe Clan to put 1-0 up.
Slight panic from Card on the goal line gives FaZe the goal. A nice bouncer. Typical now, that's his 3rd goal of the series so far. This one put up high. Fury underneath off the bar. Card coming back in. Kyle, that's off the post. Shot goal! Yan puts it in.
Finally managing to knock on the door 3 times in a row. Kaio going far post with a challenge off AJ. And then Yan sees that bottom right corner begging to be scored on.
It's working so hard just to get themselves back into it over Fury, but that goal was a world to Jorby.
Right on the kickoff. First killer. Gonna grab it. Not much they're developing yet. Still battling around the midfield. Now, how do Furia try to progress by this FaZe line that just keeps pushing itself forward on the blue half? Typical especially has looked really threatening in the blue half as AJ pops it up underneath, trying to save that dodge. Yan trying to get up in the middle, his Card up for it again in midfield. Not a lot of boost here though. Currently deadlocked 1-1.
I agree with you, the Typical has been the most dangerous
yeah,
player, but look at the finishing that AJ has as well. One pinpoint pass takes Fury's defense completely out of it. Look at this decision making, and it was Typical as we were talking about it. And there's AJ with the finish.
Well, Kyle has to see what's going on in midfield there. He's creeping upfield, and that ball just jets out over to AJ and caught him out. You can't get caught like that as 3rd man against FaZe.
Into the blind spot as well. He just saw that shot coming from nowhere. But great idea from AJ to end up shooting.
Furia down again. Kyle forces the 50 out. FaZe starting to really feel the pulse of the game. As Typical diving in front, he's winning with the touch, but just a little bit of it is given to Yan. Furia put back on the blue.
I just love the passes that FaZe Clan make. Every time they put the ball into a position, it is exactly where their teammates need it to be. Even that one from AJ on the ceiling. Typical was ready for it. First killer travels so quickly, making it so that any touch Furia get, for the most part, it's a 50-50 at best for them, and at worst, it's just a big clearance space. Two of them are up. They're dunking in the air. The confidence from them. Is there a finish? Not quite this time.
I was going to really recommend and say how good I like their selflessness and their passing and the face gun that we so rarely get the honor to see.
Oh.
And especially considering the tournament they've had so far, where they've dropped down because they were all trying to be the player with the name in lights. First killer is taking on an absolutely exemplary role. Tries to go low with that shot, but the fact that he's passing, the fact that he's demoing and just trying to open up space for his teammates, that is when FaZe Clan win.
And it's when FaZe Clan can look their worst, when they are ignoring that, when First Killer is trying to do too much. It's not happening now, but Furia have earned themselves another goal.
Yeah, FaZe unable to get a quality clear here as AJ losing the ball, and Yan saving that dodge to put it right into First Killer, forcing that bad touch, puts it out into space where Card is waiting for it, able to deliver the tying goal.
Card wanted that ball to go up high, calling his teammate on to send it to the backboard. All of FaZe grounded. It was an open shot for him, but the idea to go for it. This is their brains. Their brains are winning it for them on those clever plays.
After the first game, had 3 goals going for Furia so quickly. This one has never looked like a blowout for either team. Just both teams starting to play well, building up that momentum. And something you're giggling at some of the touches.
It was just landing on that ball. It really could have worked if that ended up going the way of AJ if he had any more boost. But now it falls down to another Furia attack, approaching 2 minutes remaining in the game. Much more even. No team dropping the ball at any point. Just everybody attacking full ball.
Here comes Yan. He's in front of the box. 2 touches, puts it down, but again AJ shuffles it back out to the corner. Card doesn't have anything here. See the demo on the back, or excuse me, First Killer gonna take that one forward. And Kyle getting demoed on the play. That was one big thing I think that really stints Furia's game. As soon as one team starts getting physical against them, that's when you see that defense break down a lot more. FaZe haven't really been that physical though in the game. Their offense has been lights out against Furia anyway.
They've shown good patience as well, FaZe Clan. This is the team that gets so itchy when they're trapped in defense. And Furia having to make them defend, especially with fakes like that. AJ puts it as far as he can. Card is there. Typical from the goal line, gets the save.
But there was a double commit on that save as well. They're trying to go for the counter-attack. Very close, going just above the crossbar, but there was a double commit. The trust on that back line wasn't there, and it very, very nearly led to the 3rd Furia goal.
This is certainly the best we've seen Furia play as well. They had such a disappointing performance on day 1. They weren't even on the pitch against KC. Now they're taking FaZe Clan all the way, even at the early stage in this series.
And I really think if Furia have hope in this series, they cannot drop this game.
Yeah.
Going down to, the only team that has pulled off a reverse sweep is Space Station. They seem to be the only team that can do that in a best of 5 on land. Furia gonna have to find that in the tank. Yeah, just might have done it! FaZe out! A late lead for Furia!
41 seconds remaining, and Yan may well be a South American hero when he returns home, managing to sneak in front of that ball. It has an orange trail, but it only has a golden explosion.
It was a lovely touch as well from Kyo there, just to completely divert the ball, set his teammate up. 41 seconds for Furia to hold on.
FaZe, there's certainly no shortage of offense. It only took them a minute to tie a 3-goal deficit in game number 1. It's plenty of time for them as AJ wants a pass, but Typical's way too far off the play. Ends up giving the ball up. Card knows he's got the space, but Typical's not going to give him time to think about it. Furia still looking for a way out, but you see them having to play that small ball game. FaZe are all over the place.
Really
and now Card gets physical against AJ, trying to shuffle them off the ball.
You mentioned the physicality, and Furia do not want to fall prey to it again. Instead, they're taking into their predators.
Catch again at the end of regulation. Kyo works it back around. Ball over Card's head. Might be a chance for FaZe here off the block. Back wall. Shot comes, but it's still hanging in front of the box. And the only player up. Gonna use the ceiling, but let it drop. Can Furia hang on to it? It's gotta touch the ground. It does, and for the first time today, we will not have a sweep.
Kyo, the hero that every single person in the Rocket League community